Alexandria Ocasio Cortez appeared on a special Chris Hayes show where she was asked a whole lot of questions about the Green New Deal and a few other things. Her ability to articulate all the functions of the Green New Deal, her ability to give the reasons why its coverage is so broad, meaning not only the environment but social justice and many other issues, was clear. And she was able to express this many times quite better than some of the panelists that were on there. It was refreshing to see her command of the resolution. There were some interesting outtakes that I think bear mention. Chris Hayes brought up that real sensitive issue, that old word, socialism. Let's see how Alexandria Ocasio Cortez handled that. It is something that progressives need to learn how to do. Here we go.
That sounds like socialism. You're talking about this huge mobilization, and I'm like, I don't trust that the government can pull this off.
Here's a couple of issues here. One is that, if you want to bring up these labels and this, that, and the other and have that whole conversation, that's a whole other thing. But the one thing that we cannot rebuke and the one thing that we cannot deny is that climate change is a problem of market failure and externalities in our economics. Moreover, ExxonMobil knew that climate change was real and man-made starting as far back as 1970. The entire United States government knew that climate change was real and human caused in 1989, the year I was born. So the initial response was, let the market handle it, they will do it. 40 years and free market solutions have not changed our position. So this does not mean that we change our entire structure of government. But what it means is that we need to do something. And that is what the solution is about.
Now, in that answer, notice she didn't once herself use the word socialism, but she turned the argument specifically on the market. We left it up to the market for over 40 years. The people under the market system lied to us all. They knew about the issue. They knew about climate change. It didn't solve the problem without intervention from we the people. She did it without once using the word socialism, and at the same time, she put the blame where it belonged, on a market that did not function. Now we have another clip that she did. A conservative attempted to equate all of us in the progressive movement as a left-wing Tea Party. This is how she responded to that.
We've seen the formation of a Tea Party of the left. The Tea Party of the right that tossed me out 10 years ago and went into this decade of disastrous disputation. I think we're at risk of that happening now on the left. Because, last night, Donald Trump was in Michigan. There was a crowd that was really cheering for him.
They were also chanting AOC sucks at some point, I think.
And so, but what I'd ask you is, what's the difference between last night and tonight? This is the mirror image. This is the flip side.
Now, what do you think about that?
What I think is that we are committed to policies that make American lives better. We're actually talking about something substantive. We're not calling anyone names. People say Tea Party of the left. And I find this phrase very interesting, this phrasing very interesting, because the grounding of the Tea Party was xenophobia, the underpinnings of white supremacy. But, I understand politically when people say Tea Party of the left, because I'm a progressive Democrat that won in a primary election and ousted the fourth most powerful person in the Democratic Party. I understand why people would say Tea Party of the left. The exception is that my district is overwhelmingly progressive, and our representative was not representing our actual position. So this is not a Tea Party of the left. This is a return to American representative democracy. Here's a really big difference. The Koch brothers funded the Tea Party, and everyday people funded my campaign.
Now that was brilliant. Number one, she did not allow the false equivalents to stay on the table. Number two, what she did is pointed out that the person representing her district was not representing it based on the people in the district, but based on many other things. Third, and most importantly, she pointed out that the Tea Party was being subsidized by big business, by the plutocracy, by the Koch brothers, while she was grassroots. She was funded by the people, and as such, she owes her loyalty to the people. She's not owned like most politicians. She did all of that, making the points methodically. That is how it's done. There's another clip that I want to show you. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez disparages how the GOP is attacking her. She pretty much makes them look so small.
On Trump TV, it's a 24-hour, in the conservative movement, it's 24-hour AOC GND. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Here's a little taste of what it looks like.
What is this Green New Deal? Answer, radical environmental socialism. A real serious threat to our way of life.
An absurd socialist manifesto.
It's a green socialist manifesto.
It's a socialist experiment.
It's like your kids spew nonsense at you and you're like, quiet, learn something before you come back to me.
She was a bartender like 2 years ago.
She's kind of adorable, sort of in the way that a 5-year-old child can be adorable.
And she's ranting and raving like a lunatic.
They're trying to get rid of all the cows.
I support cows.
I've got 100 cows.
Cheese. No, South Dakota milkshake.
Cheeseburgers and a milkshake will become a thing of the past.
We're going to ban hamburgers?
They want to take away your hamburgers. This is what Stalin dreamt about, but never achieved.
Were you expecting that?
Yeah. It is next level. I didn't expect them to make total fools of themselves. I expected a little more nuance.
She didn't go into a long rant about them being sexist. She didn't go into a long rant about them being misogynist. She didn't go through a rant about them being dismissive. She just simply said she didn't think they were going to be so foolish. And she would have thought they would have had more nuance. The one thing I wish she had said is how little disregard they're showing for the intelligence of the people they purport to support. The last piece is brilliant. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez did something, and she used that to her favor.
You can't do it in a single Congress, the entire Green New Deal. It is literally impossible. So is it possible that we say, listen, climate change is the thing that we're seeing the whites of its eyes. We've got to act now. Can we come back maybe to universal basic income a little bit later?
Hey, that's unacceptable. And that's the difference between me and Trump.
To say explicitly what happened. The conservative on the panel said something rather ludicrous. Somebody in the audience shouted, moron. And she immediately used that opportunity to silence him. We don't do that here. And then immediately pointed out to the conservative, that is the difference between progressives, her, and Donald Trump, who allows his audience to go crazy and dangerously attacking others, which many times lead into others really attacking the opponent. And she showed that marvelously. That is a 29-year-old politician displaying the fortitude, displaying the emotional control of a seasoned politician. Now, I think what Alexandria Ocasio Cortez did in that interview was for anybody who didn't know whether she was intellectually apt, knowing of the subject at hand, she made it quite clear that she is in full command of the policies that she supports. But not only that, that she understands how those policies integrate into a United States economy, and it's not just throwing out left-wing ideas, but throwing out effective ideas that can become a reality if we have the wherewithal to do so.